The second topic that I am going to introduce with regard to accounting in Ariadne is parallel bookkeeping and reporting. Here is how one can set up Ariadne in order to generate a financial statement that should be compliant to a specific standard. The first financial statement I wish to generate will comprise the bookkeeping rules that are to be followed according to per se an IFRS reporting standard. Hence, I have the title for bookkeeping rule 1 here as IFRS. The second financial statement that I wish to generate will comprise of bookkeeping rules as necessary for per se a certain local GAAP reporting standard. Hence, I use the title LGAAP indicating local GAAP. One can map contracts within Ariadne to bookkeeping rules as required, for instance, IFRS 9, IFRS 16, and so on. It is to be noted here that a user should reference to the accounting standard itself to understand which bookkeeping rule is allowed for a particular financial statement. Usually, these standards vary based on the type of a financial institution. Ariadne provides for the bookkeeping rules and engines necessary in order to generate financial statements as specified within a standard. In Ariadne, contracts are organized or linked with bookkeeping rules in the following manner. Each contract can be mapped to specific bookkeeping engine. For instance, here I have linked a mortgage contract that a bank has in its portfolio to bookkeeping rule 1 MM indicating mark to model bookkeeping for a specific IFRS reporting. Bookkeeping rule 2 LM that indicates linear to maturity for a specific local GAAP reporting. Here is a fixed income instrument that I have mapped to bookkeeping rule 1 mark to model and then bookkeeping rule 2 to HS indicating historic bookkeeping rule. Here is the deposit portfolio that is on the liability side of this financial statement. I have mapped this portfolio to bookkeeping rule 1 mark to model once again and bookkeeping rule 2 to linear to maturity LM. One should notice here that on a given status date earlier, the bookkeeping rule used to value this particular instrument was different from the rule used on a later date. This is possible as standards get updated, and so also the rules can be updated in Ariadne accordingly. This is an example of how a fixed asset that can be set up with bookkeeping rules. Bookkeeping rule 1 is set to geometric, which indicates that a depreciation rule for this specific instrument is set to a geometric write-off as per a specific standard. Bookkeeping rule 2 is set to linear, which again is the depreciation rule that is set to linear write-off in order to report depreciation as specified within a certain reporting standard. In Ariadne, we support the following bookkeeping rules and engines. Mark to model, linear to maturity, linear to rate reset, historic, nominal value, amortized cost. Such contracts allocated with accounting rules are executed and simulated in Ariadne to generate a financial statement compliant with a specific standard reporting. For the demo purpose, I have generated a report that represents the financial statement in IFRS standard and a local GAAP reporting standard. A user can now analyze variations in value of a certain portfolio by the use of a graphical view. Here, the user is now able to view a financial statement in 4 value views in parallel, which is nominal value, fair value, IFRS, and local GAAP. The IFRS and local GAAP values are generated as a result of the bookkeeping rules that I had configured in the earlier part of my presentation. A user can generate financial statements also under stress scenarios. Under a stress condition, the bookkeeping values may change for a certain bookkeeping rule. Here, for this demo, I have set up an interest rate stress scenario. C1 indicating no stress, C2 indicating an interest rate stress of 1% increase. C3, here the long-term rates are higher than the short-term rates. C4, the long-term rates are less than the short-term rates. A user can generate a financial statement in IFRS and local GAAP terms under any such interest rate stress condition. User can also set up a stress in FX, commodity prices, indices, and so on. A user can export such results in a generic format or even a custom format that is specified within the accounting standard. A user can even map the generated results into specific Excel formats as specified within the standard using a custom Excel lookup functions. Ariadne is also capable to simulate financial statements for IFRS and local GAAP in also going concern view. What we see here are granular results that lead to the generation of an IFRS profit and loss statement. The delta accrual is the change in revenue over time for this particular mortgage contract. Delta premium discount is the change in value. Delta FX is the gain or loss that is due to the change in FX.